Good morning, afternoon, and greetings. I wanted to make a somewhat of a mixture of a market update and weekly outlook combined. Starting off with the dollar index, we have today's price action, Monday, sweeping Friday's lows, tapping into a daily fair value gap in the form of a buy-side imbalance and rejecting higher. We are in the season where right now anything is to be expected. Anything can happen. We could trade higher and then reject from this area to move lower. We could also just trade lower and use this area as resistance for lower prices. So anything can happen in this season, especially in the month of December. So I do urge everybody to look for the closest draw on liquidity in the same way that I use a weekly and a monthly chart in order to frame an idea going into a new week or a new month. I would urge everyone to focus on the daily and lower time frames. So use your daily as your highest time frame, but of course I always toggle to weekly in order to find out what PDRA might we be rejecting from. So I did point out just now how we reacted from this daily buy side imbalance, but notice that on the weekly chart we tapped into a weekly sell side imbalance. So right now we want to see if this sell side imbalance could hold for lower prices and possibly take out the previous week's low. But for that to be the case, we would have to get a change in the state of delivery on a 4-hour chart. So we might sweep these highs, but if we're gonna be bearish at all with this price action, we would have to get a displacement lower that gives us a confirmed market structure shift, or a change in the state of delivery in a sense of some sort of order block that we could trade back into to take price down from there. So we could get something like this happening, but of course we're open to the possibilities of anything happening. We could tap into an inefficiency and continue higher. So the dollar, I don't have any clear view, but I do right now, I do favor seeing a displacement lower for Monday's Monday, by the way, Monday London session. I would like to see a displacement lower, a retracement into the order block of fair value gap or inversion fair value gap, and a continuation to the downside. This is what I would like to see on the dollar index. Of course, the opposite is true for euro and pound. I'm not going to go over them because again I have no clear draw on liquidity in this month of December, but I would like to see the same retracement higher, probably into this and continue lower, or sweep the lows, make market structure shift to continue higher. So the setup is still the same despite the pair that I'm looking at. Even on euro, the exact same thing happened. On the weekly chart, we can see we tapped into the weekly imbalance. Yes, it's not as big, it's not as small as the dollar index, but one thing we should notice that's special about the weekly chart of euro USD is the consequent encroachment of this weekly buy side imbalance. It's 1.08044. That's the halfway mark of this fair value gap. When you look at the low of this candle right now that we're in, it's 1.08 up there, 1.08041. So we ticked below the consequent encroachment by literally 3 pips, and that of course is just to count in the spreads. So there is a little bit more confluence on us continuing higher on euro USD and us continuing lower on GBPUSD, because if this, for example, was a 5-minute chart, a 5-minute time frame, I don't think most of you all would be worried about whether it could continue lower or not. We can clearly see that the trend is now bullish. We have confirmed the change in the state of delivery by having an order block there. We came back to it, tested the wick to body, pushed higher, pushing higher. Bullish PDRAs are seemingly being respected for higher prices. If we don't continue from here, we may continue from the order block. So we just keep watching for that, which is why I prefer waiting for a proper shift, a proper change in the state of delivery or shift in market structure for me to confirm and take it higher. So this is what I would like to see on euro for tomorrow. And I'm not really going to be touching pound right now because euro is a stronger one if I'm looking to buy it up. On the indices, I'm still looking for the all-time high on NASDAQ, which we can start with. Actually, on NASDAQ, we noticed that we also finally tapped into this fair value gap on a weekly time frame. We also went below the consequent encroachment by a few handles, and notice what's on the left hand side. We have this bearish closure that can act as another block. I know my lines are black for some reason, but I'll change it up now. So we have that area that I consider to be sensitive, and I know it's only Monday, but we are reacting off of it as it is right now. And since we're looking at a weekly chart, the same rule applies. Would like to see a confirmed state change in the state of delivery. In other words, I would like to see if we could create a bullish order block that we could test and continue pushing higher with, or a proper market structure shift where we take out a swing high. In this case, we could take out this high, so trade higher, sweep these highs and close above it. Actually, we can sweep above this high because it's the closest swing high. So we can sweep above this high, close above it, come back into an inefficiency and continue higher. So that's what I'm looking for on the NASDAQ, of course, targeting the all-time high. Similar structure with a mini S&P 500, and we are actually stronger on ES right now, so we might get a quicker push to the upside as compared to the NASDAQ, but same idea, looking for higher prices. From here, I have this inversion fair value gap on a 15 minutes. I would like to see if this can hold for a continuation to the upside. So that's all I'm looking for on the majors. On gold, I'm looking for lower prices based on the 4-hour breaker that we basically formed here, the last down close candle before an expansion to the upside there. So I'm looking for this entire area to possibly hold lower prices, and we have an inefficiency there as well, so we'll see what they have in store for us. But that's all I have for now. On gold, we also have this somewhat of a trend line to the upside that needs to be broken, so I would consider this to be a low resistant liquidity run. So I'd like to see if gold can actually clear these, and I wish I got in earlier, even though I didn't. But yeah, so that's all I have for now. Nothing much else to add. Stay safe, good luck, and good trading.